Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, he's been in financial services for more than 4 decades, and he's built his very successful business based on relationships. Bill Perryman is next.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, I love great marketing, and every single New Year's, probably a day or two after New Year's, for the last 20 years, I've gotten a $2 bill in the mail from Bill Perryman. And it says a little note, it says, I want this to be the first tax-free money that you've made all year long. And so I finally, after 20 years of getting this $2 bill, I said, I need to meet this man. And so in studio, Bill Perryman, he's a very successful financial advisor and CPA. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you, Jeff.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I want to know how you got that idea to give away a $2 bill.
Well, just as far as part of relationship marketing, I just want to drip on people. It's, just dripping. And we have so many people from diverse backgrounds that we don't send Christmas cards. So everybody is, money is green, and money covers all religions, all different ethnic groups. And so we just decided that, early on, that January 1, we would mail out this Happy Holidays, this is your first tax-free dollar of the year. And, I get a Christmas card, and 2 minutes later, I can't remember who sent it to me unless it has their photo on it. So, we just found that to be very successful, and we've got clients that have kept every one that we've ever sent to them. And, it's been a fun thing. It's a lot of work.
I bet.
And we send out about 1,500 every January 1. But we hand address and people tend to open an envelope if it's hand addressed and hand stamped, and so that's just kind of been one of the way we drip on people.
Well, thank you. Bill came in last week and was almost reluctant to do the show. He said, Jeff, I don't do a lot of marketing. That's not who I am. I'm not about bragging about myself. And I said, but you wouldn't have to brag. Let me brag about you. So one of the things that the reasons he's on the show is to talk about relationship marketing. What does that mean to you, Bill?
Basically, we look at our clients as part of our family. And so, we don't follow up. We don't aggressively call people at home during dinner. We feel like that we want a client for the rest of their lives. And so if we give them enough information to make an informed decision and they make the decision, then they'll be clients for 30 and 40 years, as opposed to putting a little pressure and twisting arms, and then the clients sometimes have buyer's remorse, and
sure.
and we don't want that. And so that's really kind of where that begins.
Well, and you reminded me just before the show that we met at Rotary, and you still proudly wear your Rotary pin. How long have you been a Rotarian?
Well, I've been a Rotarian for about 40 years.
Wow.
I started out in Bartlesville, Oklahoma, and moved to Dallas on Christmas Day, 1988, and have been a district officer. I was foundation chair, the Rotary Foundation chair, for 3 years in the district, and it's just been a wonderful way to give back.
Sure.
It's a service above self is our motto.
Yes.
And once again, it's some of my dearest lifelong friends or people I've met through Rotary.
Well, any great entrepreneur is only as good as his team. So we're going to pull up your website, and there's a slideshow that I want to go through. Tell us more about your team. Brag about the team you've assembled.
Well, probably my biggest gift is not that I'm the smartest guy that ever walked down the path, but I've been able to hire people more talented and more intelligent than I am, and they make me look good. And so I have two partners. My son Jimmy has been with the firm for 23 years. Deb Outlaw is also a partner. She's been with the firm for 24 years.
Wow.
And we've been able to get and keep good people. We have a team of 9, and we do everything as a group. It's not any one's individual client. They're all of our clients are Perryman Financial clients.
Well, it speaks volumes that so many people stay with you for so long. In fact, as I was preparing this show, I went on your Facebook page, and the top post, and we're going to pull up some pictures, is a retirement party that you just threw for a young lady who retired after 25 years.
Yes, Patty just retired at the end of the year, and we just had an open house reception last week, and actually last evening had a private employee-only get-together for her. And she's been essential, most valuable person there for that 25 years. But she's moving on to more exciting things, and we're all celebrating with her that retirement.
I think that is so cool, because what happens at any company, as you know, is people bond with the team and are disappointed when, wait a minute, she's not here anymore. Mm-hmm. So good job holding on to your key employees. I also want to brag that he came bearing gifts. He didn't write this book, but this is from Jim Collins, the author of Good to Great, and it's called Great by Choice. And I wanted to show this because, Bill, you learned some things out of this book that you wanted to share.
Yeah, I mean, basically what Jim Collins does in that book is compares great companies with good companies in the same industry, and it really compares what is it that they do different. And what we've tried to do is be a little bit different in our industry. And so we have some core values. We call them SMAC, and those are specific, methodical, and consistent. That is, if you talk to any one of my employees, they will tell you this is our SMAC. And so I've kind of listed there just so you kind of have an idea of the things that we do that we feel like we will not compromise on. And I don't know if you want me to touch on some of those, but one of the things is we commit to our clients that the phone will be answered by a person. If you call, after hours or possibly during a noon hour, you might get a voice, but we think it's important that you get a real live person on the phone. I commit to my employees that there's not any client that's more important than they are. So most companies, the client's always right. Well, not necessarily. And we love our clients and we value our clients. But it's a lot easier to get a new client than it is to get a valued, trusted employee. And so, we make that commitment to them. A couple other things that we do, we have an open financial statement. So every employee in the firm, every team member knows exactly how the company's doing. We pay bonuses based on how the company is doing, not necessarily based on some individual achievement, although, that factors in as well. But, we don't solicit business.
Yes.
I mean, all of our clients come to us by referral, and so it's either a referral from a happy client, or it's a referral from another professional that feels like that we would be best to serve their client. And we do have a fee refund guarantee. So, that's unique in our industry. Obviously, in the investment business, you can't guarantee performance, but you can guarantee the performance of your team. And so what we say is, if you're not happy with us at any point in the relationship, you can fire us and ask for a refund of your fees in the preceding 6 months, and we happily pay that.
Wow. Bill, it's wonderful to have such a man of integrity in the studio. I can just tell your eyes light up when you talk about this. Another thing that struck me about Bill when he came in last week is he described what a kind of a client meeting is, if you're meeting with them quarterly or annually, that you spend the first part just talking about family and stuff. Tell us why that's important.
Well, I mean, you know, you've heard the old truism that people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. We really want, you know, we say, one of our slogans is, it's not just about the money. And we try to live by that. We don't look at the size of someone's portfolio to determine whether we're going to call them back. We don't look at the size of their portfolio to determine how often we meet with them. And so we want to get to know them. You know, we want to know about their grandchildren. We want to know about their last trip to Europe. We want to know about how they're progressing after that knee replacement or you know, some other health issue they're going through. And so many times we'll spend probably in an hour and a half meeting, we'll spend maybe 45 minutes to an hour of that talking about unrelated things that have nothing to do with their portfolio. Obviously that's important, and we're not going to ignore that, but we found that that is the glue, that's the mortar between the bricks that help us to hold their hands through the difficult times. Because as you know, in the last 40 years, we've had some ups and downs in the market. And the key thing is not how do you do in the up markets. The key thing is holding someone's hands through those scary times. And as you know, the media is many times going to say, if you think it's bad now, you haven't seen anything yet. And it operates on trying to scare people from doing the thing that unemotionally they know they should do.
Right.
And we try to be that unemotional travel guide that holds their hand and says, look, you know, the only store at the mall that people run out of when things go on sale is the stock market store. Every other store, they're standing out, you know, before opening, waiting for that store to open and get in and get things for 30% off. The stock market store, they don't want anything to do with that when it's 30% off.
Wow. Bill, you're a very wise man, and it just strikes me that so much of the chatter that we hear these days is about AI and tech, and it's really not about high tech, it's about high touch. And I love your old school values, and we only have a little bit of time left, so maybe final thoughts. What would you like to leave people with?
Well, I just think that it's important that you know, we all have a philosophy, and we find people. My philosophy is not the only one. That when someone's dealing in financial services, that you find someone that you're on the same page as they are, so that you can trust them year in, year out, and it's not the new idea of the week. That they have a core value that they live by, and that they advise you based on those core values. And if you can do that, then, you know, one of the things that I get frequently is during a downturn, people say, well, I didn't call because I knew what you'd say.
Wow.
And I take that as a compliment, because the fact that says that I've been consistent, therefore, you know, when they're listening to a newscast and they're saying, you know, you need to go to cash and get out of the market, they say, I can call Bill, but I know what he's going to say. He's going to say, stay there with the program, and we've consistently navigated through those down markets and come out the other side looking really well.
Wow. Bill, thank you for sharing your heart with us. I truly enjoyed this. We're gonna end with his website, which is billperryman.com. Bill, thanks again for sharing your journey.
Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate it very much.
You bet. That's it for now. We'll see you next time.